take them all the way in the run-happy Santa Anita Derby.
Essential quality. What a finish. The champ.
It is Dynamic 1 and Bourbonic. Dynamic 1 and Bourbonic. A photo finish. Bourbonic got there.
Dynamic 1 and Bourbonic, baby. Yeah. Get pumped.
That's right. That's right. You got to be pumped up if you see that. Yeah, it's Tuesday, Mike, and you know what that means. The Kentucky Derby update show is live. Listen, I'm here, and you never know who's going to show up. We got Samich today. How we doing today, buddy?
Good, man. Doing good. Changed some air filters around the house, so it's been an exciting Tuesday morning.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. That sounds awful.
I am excited that the PPs are out though for Saturday. So we've already got already dig into the two Saturday cards from both Gulfstream and Santa Anita, which is pretty awesome. I cannot remember the last time either of those tracks had PPs out on a Tuesday morning. Boy,
wouldn't it be nice if you had Aqueduct out as well and you had them all? That would be amazing. But no, they did not join in the fun. They are going to draw on Wednesday. Yeah. I guess real quick before we get going, this Gulfstream card, I'm sure you've given it a thumb through at least. I mean, I have no official picks. You don't either, I'm sure. But this is this is a Pegasus-like card is how I describe it. It's really, really good, isn't it?
I mean, it's incredible, man. I love what Stronach did and what ExpressBet's doing with both the cards from Santa Anita and Gulfstream. We have 5 graded turf stakes at Gulfstream Park on Saturday, 5 alone, which is pretty incredible. Surprised there's not a single grade 1 on the card at Gulfstream, and we close with 3 grade 1s at Santa Anita. So that caught me a little off guard. But look, what they've done with the wagers this weekend really makes it just a lot of opportunities. You've got a pick 5, $1 denomination, 12% takeout for all 5 turf stakes that they're doing at the 2 tracks, and then all 5 dirt stakes, and they're giving away $5 million if you can go 15 for 15. So pretty cool opportunities there. And the Gulfstream card is it's freaking loaded, man. I don't see a lot of singles. I don't see a lot of 4 to 5s. I don't see a lot of 3 to 2s. I mean, you're going to have to have an opinion and be right. And if you are, you're getting paid on Saturday.
Does the dirt pick 5 include allowance races? Charles wants to know.
No, it is 5 graded stakes for the dirt side. And I got to also give them credit. They did not include like the Beholder Mile. They took out the crappy races that are at Santa Anita that are probably going to go off with short price favorites. And they picked and choose exactly what they wanted to. If you can I think you can go to expressbet.com. You can see what 5 races are for both the turf and the dirt. I bet they get close to $1 million in both of those pick 5 pools. And with a 12% takeout in dollar denomination, I mean, it's a lot like the Stronach 5 where you see 1 or 2 upsets and just massive payoffs because of it.
Yeah, creativity and horse racing. Who knew they could go hand in hand, but we did it for the first time maybe ever. So, it's going to be a lot of fun, no doubt about it. All right, though, this is the Derby show. We are shaking for horses. And by the way, the Fantasy League is just an excuse to talk about the Kentucky Derby more and more. So if you don't like the Fantasy League, that's okay. We'll still talk about all the horses that are involved, and that's the point of this show. But we've got shakes for like 20 different horses. So it's going to be fun today. I heard from 7 teams. So the first shake we're going to do is not for the Rebel Stakes winner, Mr. Samich. It's for the runner-up, Ethereal Road. We got a 3-way shake for Ethereal Road. I am involved in this. Jared is involved in this. And then Steve and Austin are involved. So I will be 1, Jared 2, and then Steve and Austin 3. Are you ready for this first shake, Samich?
Yeah, I hope that, let's see. Who is the best team of those 3?
Probably Jared.
Okay, I hope Jared wins then.
All right, so save your commentary until after the shake. So we'll get your thoughts on this horse. All right, I'm 1, Jared 2, Austin and Steve number 3. Here we go. 3. So it'll be Austin and Steve who get this horse. So they are going to claim Ethereal Road, and they will drop Trafalgar. He obviously not doing much on the Louisiana circuit. So, all right, Samich, you don't like this horse. Tell us why.
Oh, I mean, that was the wedding that we just went to. Like the funeral is coming up. I realize the Arkansas circuit isn't very good, but I'm sure you're going to see a couple people ship in for the Arkansas Derby. I don't, it's obviously it's coach. So if he is eligible for the Kentucky Derby, you will get a Kentucky Derby runner here. But I mean, we just got beat by Unoho. It didn't look good. Are we sure we think this horse is going to take any steps forward?
I think the big thing is kind of what you touched on. I think he's a very low risk claim because of his trainer, right? Going to run in the Arkansas Derby, going to run in probably all 3 of the Triple Crown races. I'm with you. Like, will he do anything? That's a stretch, but who knows? Maybe he catches a weaker field in one of those races, and then
he just did. he just did, and he ruined it for the filly that we're going to talk about soon.
I know. Jared says this horse will run 10 times between now and the Belmont, and that is why.
Well, yeah, but 10 fifth place finishes get you how many points, Aaron?
Well, if you finish fifth in the big 3 Triple Crown races, that's 10 points apiece, so 30 points.
Well, he's not finishing fifth in those. He's finishing like ninth in those.
As long as he leaves the gate, he gets 10 points for those races. So,
all right, fine.
All right, we've convinced. All right. So now, as Dennis says, is this the first time a filly has been in the Derby draft? No, it's not, but it's the first time any one of any significance has been in. And that is Secret Oath. That is the next shake we have. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 teams. So this will be the biggest shake. 5 teams. I will put 5 on there now. I'll hit the generate once and a couple times, actually, just show you that it is bringing up different numbers. I know Samich was very skeptical of that last time we did this. So
we still need to upgrade this, but we'll get there eventually.
Cursed. All right. So we have a 5-way shake for this one, the filly. We'll talk about the filly. I've got a little bit of a rant about this filly and the people on Twitter after as well. So this will be fun. So, all right, let's get her done first, though. Okay, I'm involved. I will be number 1. Jared involved. He will be number 2. Ryan and John White will be number 3. We'll have Geist be number 4, and then Dan and Michael be number 5. So Secret Oath, there's 5. I just listed off the numbers. All right, here we go, Samich. I can't wait for this. Here we go. Number 3. So, Jesus. I don't know why I even show up to these. So,
no point in shaking if John and Ryan are in a shake.
John and Ryan in the shake. They win, obviously. Gosh, that's awful. All right, so John and Ryan will get Secret Oath. Let's talk about her here. I mean, first, just give us kind of your thoughts on how she performed, and will she face the boys?
She was the best 3-year-old that we saw on Saturday at Oaklawn. I don't think that's much of a stretch to say. I thought she was very impressive. She's clearly built off the last 2 races, which was nice to see. Faced a little traffic trouble, was able to pass on the inside, was able to run from off the pace. Like everything you want to see from her, you saw. She won easily and did it faster than the boys, which. Yeah, the track conditions were a little different for the last race of the day, but at the same time, she was over a second faster. So I thought Secret Oath was the most impressive 3-year-old. The comments before the race really made it seem like D'Elaine Lukas was going to send this horse to the Arkansas Derby if she was good. The comments after the day of races was basically, we're not going to the Arkansas Derby from D'Wayne, and the ownership group does not want to go to the Arkansas Derby, and that's why we will not be going to the Arkansas Derby. That's a little concerning to me. It's why Magic and I didn't claim her, because of what D'Wayne said afterward and how fast he said it. If he came out a week later, if he took a little bit of a pause, then to me, there's a little bit more of a question. But it seemed like this is a pretty open shut that we're not going to see her in the Arkansas Derby.
Yeah, I'm with you. It was a little discouraging to hear that from him. But this is really what I will kind of tell you about. If it's a Rebel-like field and she's 4 to 5 to win the race, they have to enter her. They almost have to. It's a grade 1 race. And a lot of people are like, well, no, she'll get her grade 1 in the Oaks. The Oaks will be a much tougher race to win if the Arkansas Derby draws like the Rebel.
Yeah, I don't see the Arkansas Derby drawing like the Rebel, though.
No.
I mean, look, Pletcher has 3 or 4 horses that I think he could end up sending there. I think you're going to see a different Baffert show up on that day. I mean, look, that was a wildly weak field. If Newgrange doesn't fire, anyone could have won that race, and it was just not a great race. I don't think you're going to see anything where near that for the Arkansas Derby. You're going to see a lot of trainers ship into Arkansas because of how poor that Rebel field was.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's going to end up telling them what to do when it all is said and done. The coach is not dumb. He scouts the country just like everybody else does. And he knows, and he said right after the race, it's not what the filly tells us, it's what the boys tell us that are really going to matter. As far as the owner's not wanting to go, I get that's probably a factor. I think he could talk him into it. He's very persuasive. So, but who ships in is the big one, Samich.
I think Athol Road really negatively affects her chance of getting in the race, though. If that horse runs a clunker then yeah, I agree with you. Then she's definitely in because and he's going to be more persuasive because he doesn't have a Derby horse. He's got a Derby horse now, and yes, he should. I think he knows the difference between the two horses. He firmly believes the Secret Oath is probably 4, 5, 6 lengths better. But he's got a Derby horse, so he doesn't need to be as persuasive, which I think is the negative here. That's why I wish At the Road ran up the track on Saturday, because then I think you would have seen her in the Arkansas Derby.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think that is definitely one major factor, and I think he's very confident, and he believes that he can get any horse to win those big races. And I think he said it on the press release. He said, "Hey, Ethereal Road is a horse I'm going to develop. He will be developed in time for the Derby." So I don't know. We'll see. All right, let's get back to the shakes because we got a couple more to go here. Morello is the next horse on the list. We've got a 3-way shake for this one. You're involved in this one too, Samich. So, all right, let me change it back to 3. So we're now back to 3. I have people that are mad. Look, it's generating numbers. Okay, that's all we can ask for. So, all right. Morello is next. I'm going to be in on this shake for Morello. John and Ryan also in the shake
Great.
for Morello. Yeah, for Morello, and then you as well, Samich. So, okay, are you ready for this one? So I'm going to be 1, John and Ryan 2, Magic Mike 3. Are you ready?
No.
All right, here we go. I'm going to do it anyway. All right, and 2. John and Ryan get the shake for Morello.
Do they have anyone to drop, or are they not involved because they dropped the other horse first?
Okay, so yes, they do. So they sorry.
Come on, I want a technicality here.
So John and Ryan, I forgot to announce, they dropped Tis the Bomb when they got Secret Oath, and then they have dropped. This is kind of major news. Corniche with this claim of Morello. So Corniche no longer owned in the league, the Breeders' Cup Juvenile winner. We'll comment on that in a second, but I want to get your thoughts on Morello. Why did you guys try to go after him?
Look, the New York circuit isn't wonderful. Morello won at 7 furlongs last time out. Looked really impressive doing so. Absolutely under wraps. Went 45 and change in the first half. This is a horse where you should be at least getting second and getting the claim points back right out of the gate here in the Gotham this weekend. So, yeah, I think Morello has a really good shot at winning. If not, I think Morello is probably fairly locked to figure in the top 2. And if so, you're getting your points back from the claim perspective, and then you're getting the horse that's probably going to run in the Derby. The horse took a nice step forward, like I said last time. And this is an Asherton horse, Classic Empire, so shouldn't have a problem with the classic distances. Like it's one of those horses that makes sense. Probably not at top of the crop, but you're going to get your points back, and has a good chance this weekend, and probably will be in the Derby gate.
Yeah, that's the way I kind of looked at it too. Even if he got second this weekend, it's like, well, he got your points back, and like I said, second will be in the Derby. And plus, with Asmussen, he's not like Lukas in the fact that it's just a guarantee they're going to run every 4 weeks, but he kind of runs them every 4 weeks if they're doing well. So,
it's also the connections aren't like Winchell. It's not a major connection group, which I think helps in the Derby side of it too. Like I think you're so much more likely to run in the Derby as a smaller group of connections than you are as a major group of connections when you're looking at some of these horses.
Yeah, a lot of people being critical. Listen, I used to draw them out of a hat, and John and Ryan would win, and now I've got this thing, and John and Ryan win. And I was involved in all these. It's not like I want them to win, So
I think we've tried to drop Stravia 4 times now. We still have that sucker on our team.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
I know it's absolutely incredible that listen. Okay. So just to move on, we have 3 other claims that now don't have shakes involved, so we can go through them real quick. What made me think of that is I've tried to drop Kid Corleone like 6 times. Well, I put in for 4 horses, and I'm finally going to get one. I don't have to shake for him. I claimed We the People, and I really didn't want him, but I just wanted Kid Corleone gone. We the People, a debut winner at Oaklawn Park, going to go to an allowance next in March, and then probably going to take like the back road to the Preakness, basically, probably running the Oaklawn Stakes and then go to the Preakness after that if all goes well. Did you see We the People on debut? You have any thoughts on him?
I would have to look him up to remember. I'm sure I saw him run. It just, it did not. He did not stand out enough for me to actually give a shit.
Well, that sounds very, very, very promising for We the People. Listen, I'm just thinking, okay, we'll run an allowance at Oaklawn and we'll win, and we'll get 5. And then if we go to the Oaklawn Stakes, which is on Kentucky Derby Day, if you think like the Arkansas Derby and the Rebel are bad, that race has got to be really bad, so we can win there. And maybe, I didn't really want him. I just needed somebody that had a workout recently. So We the People is the one.
Yeah, we didn't reach past our one claim because it's like, well, we'd rather just not lose the 20 points to take anyone else that's available right now. Like the pickings are not wonderful.
No. And the ones that I went for, it was like, yeah, I guess I like that horse some, but I don't really want him. But you guys have a huge advantage over me. I have 4 horses that literally are nowhere to be found. So
yeah, I mean, we've got 2 of the top 5 contenders and a third horse that's probably going to get points. So we're not nearly we don't need to be aggressive.
No, I have to be aggressive. Okay, the other 2, Geist will claim Dean's List, who is supposed to be running in the Gotham for Todd Pletcher. He's a perfect 2 for 2, and he'll drop winning map. I thought about Dean's List a little bit, kind of the same reason for Morello. What are your thoughts on Dean's List?
I think it's a good claim. Dean's List has some pretty credible races that he's won. So I don't have to look this one up. So that's definitely a positive. Yep. So I'm gonna give Dean List some love. I think that's a good solid claim from the Geist group, and I think that field is it's beatable, right? I mean, we haven't seen any world beaters up there, and Oho obviously flatters that circuit. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I like that horse as well. The horse that he beat last time out came back to run pretty well the next time. Got beat again by another Pletcher, my prankster, but still ran pretty well. So I really like Dean's List. I don't know about. I mean, I know 100% he's not going to go like the Derby distance, but for a mile, I think it's stretching his limits. We'll see though. And like I said, the Gotham's wide open. All right. Speaking of Gotham, one other team had a claim here that was not. No surprise, was not going to be a shake. Baris was claimed by Dan and Michael Myers. They drop Rocket Dog. I will be honest now. This rarely happens. I had to look up Baris.
I got nothing. I have no clue who that is.
I think that's that New York bred, but I'm not 100% sure it is. It's a
New York bred that's running in the Gotham. I mean, look, I don't mind anyone taking any Gotham horse. Right. Like I don't think that if you know the horse is going to run there, then it's not crazy. But I probably would have selected a different one before this one. We'll just put it that way.
Yeah, it was a surprising claim for sure. Mike Maker horse, perfect 3 for 3. He really has looked pretty good, but obviously the competition gets tougher. But like I said, it's not like oh gosh, he has to run in the Florida Derby, or I should say the Fountain of Youth this weekend. It's like, it's Gotham. He could win. So I get it. Yeah. Baris going over. Yeah. Baris, Mike Maker horse is undefeated. Exactly, Vinny. So we'll see him probably in the Gotham this weekend and see what he does. All right. Speaking of, we'll move on real quick to the Fountain of Youth and the San Felipe. I know you talked about a little bit on Magic Mike. Just quick thoughts, overall picture, Fountain of Youth. What do you think of the race?
The Fountain of Youth is a banger, man. Like that is a great race. Mo Donegal's a terrible favorite. Just everyone terrible. Go back and watch that race. He didn't have traffic trouble. I still Simplification got a significantly worse trip than Mo Donegal, and Simplification beat Mo Donegal. Simplification also did not run where Simplification wants to run, and Mo Donegal pretty much got exactly what he wanted. So I'm not sure where all the terrible trips are now. Maybe he wasn't fully cranked. I don't know that. We'll see. We'll see what happens on Saturday. But yeah, I'm shocked that horse is 3-1, especially breaking from the 12 post. Galt not getting in is a big positive for Simplification. And we get to see Emmanuel, man. So to me, I'm excited to see Simplification back. I'm excited to see Emmanuel in a stakes race against horses that we'll see if it's in his correct class level, but I believe is. I think it's just an absolute banger because I like In Due Time. I think Dean Delivers is interesting. I mean, you've got 5 or 6 horses in here. Magic was trying to make a case for Rattle and Roll. AP Secret was a nice winner in allowance last time. There's a lot of horses that are taking a step up that I think could surprise here.
I think it's going to be a great race too. I was 100% with you. I thought, oh man, this is good. This is going to be really, really good. Here's a question, and I posed it to the group chat as soon as they drew. Any chance Mo Donegal scratches? Drew a terrible post all the way to the 12. Also nominated Tampa Bay Derby. What do you think about that?
I would not be shocked. I mean, this race came back tough. You've got Emmanuel if you're Pletcher, and the post sucks. It sucks for Mo Donegal. Yeah, he's not fast, so he can kind of tuck back. But if he is going to tuck back, he's in last. That's the end. That's the position you're ending up being in. And I'm not sure that you want to try and pass 11 horses at this Gulfstream track right now, especially when you've got some of the ones that are the caliber that they're going to be in front of him.
Especially when you're going that distance over that track, it's tough. It's tough. Even if he had a good post, it's going to be tough for him. And I think that's what a lot of people are on Mo Donegal, and they've kind of been like, you guys don't know what you're talking about. He was flying. I said, you don't understand. It's really hard to win at Gulfstream Park with that.
I gotta say though, I love this draw if he ends up in this race.
Yes.
Because what's going to happen is that Mo Donegal is going to run fourth, and he's going to have an excuse, and everyone's going to love him in the Florida Derby, and then he's not going to run great, but he'll run okay, and then he's going to draw like the 6th post in the Kentucky Derby, and he's going to be way overbet. Like you can already see the known agenda style season that we're going to see here from Mo Donegal.
Yeah, I totally agree. Now, Mo Donegal he has a much, much better chance in the Florida Derby because of the 1 1/8 and it's the normal stretch and all that stuff. But I'm still with you. I don't love him. And yeah, you're right. Like, oh, he got a rough trip. That's his trip.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Until he shows us he can sit closer, that's his trip. That's what a lot of horses coming from the back gets. So we'll see. I'm with you. I think he's a bad favorite. I think he's one we can beat. All right. The Santa Anita race, the San Felipe. Listen, I think it's a 2-horse race. I know you said it on Magic Mike as well. I mean, you probably haven't looked at it much past what you looked at it yesterday, but how do you get by Forbidden Kingdom and Doppelganger in this spot?
I have no idea. The Magic, we were doing the preview. He's like, who do you like as a long shot? I'm like, a horse that's going to finish third, because I'm not taking any long shot on top in this spot. I think this is an interesting spot because you've got these pick 5s that roll through this race. You've got pick 5s that roll through it on the day of the card. You've got, obviously it's right in the middle of it. Like, you're going to have to make some decisions here, and playing both Forbidden Kingdom and Doppelganger generally is a negative EV situation in these pools, especially in the dollar denomination. So you really have to make a decision which one you're going to go with. I kind of already know which direction I'm probably going to lean. I think I'm higher on Doppelganger than most people. I think he's the best Baffert, which I know you disagree with me about, and I'll either have to eat some crow or celebrate on the live stream on Saturday here. Yeah. And I'm lower than most on Forbidden Kingdom. I don't think that the stretching out of the distance is necessarily a good thing for him. I think he had everything his own way, and I think you've got another Baffert in here that's got some speed that may press the pace early. I think who is it? It's Armac. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think that might be a rabbit here for Doppelganger. It doesn't make a ton of sense that horse is in this spot, and I think he's going to be the one that presses Forbidden Kingdom early.
I think that's the key to the race, because I definitely agree. Forbidden Kingdom had it his own way last time out, but if the Baffert horse can't press him here, there's really nobody else that can again, and he might just have it his own way again. That's the worry. I'm with you on Doppelganger. I'm trying to make a decision between the two of these horses right now. I'm higher on Forbidden Kingdom than you are. But I don't think Doppelganger is a bad horse. And I said right after the race, look, when he stretches out, it's going to be a totally different game when he faces this horse again. He was running hard. It's just the horses in front of him weren't coming back to him whatsoever. So
look, we got to remember that San Vicente was 7 furlongs too, right? And they went 44 and change for the opening half mile. Like, they went quick up front at 7 furlongs. We're stretching out to a 1/16. We've never seen a 2-turn race here from Forbidden Kingdom. I have too many questions about what Forbidden Kingdom is. And Forbidden Kingdom lost at 7 furlongs to Messier by 3 lengths. And if I think that Doppelganger is the best Baffert, well, I kind of have no choice in who I'm picking here. And even if Doppelganger isn't the best Baffert, I think he's the most likely winner of this race.
Yeah, I think the distance is going to be key. It's going to be fun. I mean, you already can see this mapped out. Forbidden Kingdom turns for home with the lead, and Doppelganger's coming, and who out finishes who. That's what it is.
I'm not even sure he turns for home with the lead. I really think that he's going to get pressed up front. That's the only reason why you have this other Baffert in here. And we've seen Baffert do this with blockers all the time, where he has the speed horse and he wants the second place horse to push the rest of the field out wide on that first turn. This feels like the same thing, except he wants to make sure that there's no easy leads here for Forbidden Kingdom. So I think you're going to see a hotter pace than people necessarily expect up front. I think that's going to be the undoing of Forbidden Kingdom.
Yep. My only worry with your theory is it sometimes it's okay even if the pace is hot to be up front at Santa Anita. I think the track does definitely play against Doppelganger a little bit, but I'm with you. I think it's going to be a really good race. I think both these races are going to be very, very intriguing. We both kind of lean Emmanuel at this moment, but you said it. There's a lot of horses you could make a case for here. What if Simplification gets the trip he wants and just takes him gate to wire?
It's definitely possible. Yeah, and that race where I love the fact that Mo is the favorite, because then you feel a lot more comfortable going 4 deep in that spot, not using the favorite. because it
Oh,
gives you,
absolutely.
there's a ton of upside in avoiding him. So I like the fact that I'm excited about fading that favorite because it gives me the ability to go deeper, not have to have as many, negative EV worries.
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess in closing, please, Todd Pletcher, do not scratch Donegal. He needs to be in that race. He fits really well, and I don't think the 12 post hurts him at all. Do you?
No, not at all. He's perfect from that post. He'll be able to go right to the back and make one sweeping move into this short stretch that just plays to closers. There's no way.
He drew a perfect post. Exactly.
So before you ask me your question, you always ask me, who's the favorite in each of these races come Saturday? When they break from the gate, who's your favorite in both the races in Florida and California?
I do think Forbidden Kingdom will be the favorite. I really do. I just think he beat Doppelganger last time out. He got a solid speed figure. He's got Mandela, who's going to get bet, and he's working out great. I do think he'll be the favorite. Fountain of Youth is a little trickier. It's not going to be Mo Donegal. It's just not. I think it's going to be Emmanuel. It might be Simplification. It's going to be one of those two, I think.
I would bet Emmanuel in Forbidden Kingdom, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's Mo Donegal, man. People like the Mo Donegal love it's been strong. I mean, people just and it's a Pletcher horse, it's an Uncle Mo horse. Like it's got all the fixins that people are going to want to bet this horse. And like I said, people have been talking about trip trouble for 2 weeks on this horse. I still don't see it.
Gosh, I would be shocked. Well, maybe it's just because my opinion's getting in the way with this one. I will say this: we've been critical of morning lines with Derby preps the last couple of weeks. The Fountain of Youth is a really tricky one to make. I would not be critical of that one. I don't think Mo Donegal's a great favorite, but it's a tricky one to make.
And it's well done though. I mean, because you have 4 or 5 horses in between that 3-1, 6-1 range, which I think is fitting. It's a wide open race, and it's carded that way. And I think Pete Aiello, who makes the morning lines for Gulfstream, look, he's one of the ones who thinks Mo Donegal got a bad trip and is going to come back huge. And so I wouldn't, I don't think it's a bad morning line at all. I think it's a tough morning line. And honestly, like going through the morning line, I kind of like In Due Time at 6-1 too. I mean, I was higher on this horse than I think most people were in our group. I thought he looked really good against 2 touted Pletchers last time out. Like the fact that they're stretching him out right into the Fountain of Youth here. And he's going to get the setup. There's quite a bit of pace in here. And if he's able to sit the quote-unquote White Barrio trip from the last race, right, could be very, very dangerous.
He could be. Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot as well, too. I think I don't know. I think Simplification, Emmanuel, In Due Time, that's kind of where I'm leaning at this moment. But I'm digging deep into that as soon as we get off this show. So let's get off of it. But all right, who's the Derby winner as of right now, Samich?
Say the same thing I did. Well, I don't know. Saturday. I right now I think White Barrio sits the trip, and he's the only stalker that we've seen be able to sit right behind Speed and Pounce. So I'm gonna stick with White Barrio, even though he needs to take a couple steps forward to do it.
All right. Gosh, I'm beginning to think Messier's not coming. I'm in the
beginning. I'm glad we've made the beginning phase here.
I'm in the camp. I've been in denial.
We filed lawsuits against CDI, and none of them was to run in the Derby.
Yeah, I'm beginning to think he's not coming. I got to find a different horse. I guess Epicenter is mine right now. I don't think it will be on Derby Day, though. I really don't. But as of right now, I really like that race. I think it's going to be really beneficial to see him stretch out once again in the Louisiana Derby. And if he improves again, I think he will be my pick. But the more I look at that race, I'm thinking, was that just the perfect scenario for him, situation, and he took advantage of it? Maybe. So he'll be my lame pick for now. If Messier shows up, it'll be Messier. But I'm starting to face reality, Samich.
Do you have any future wagers down right now?
No, I would not play a future wager with Magic's money.
Okay.
I hate Kentucky Derby future wagers. Hate
All right.
them.
Fair.
Do you?
Fair
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Over under 8.5.
I have one
Okay.
future wager right now.
White Barrio?
No,
Okay,
I have Classic Causeway at 65-1.
Okay, I really like that. Number one.
I did it because I don't necessarily think Classic Causeway is going to win. I thought 65-1 was wildly high, and I bet it literally the moment he crossed the finish line at Tampa.
I really like that bet. I think he's got a big time shot. I do. I have him up there pretty high too. So, by the way, Trish Smith chimes in according to, or speaking of future wagers, I should say, she has a future bet 71 on 3-year-old fillies in this race. She did it because of Echo Zulu, who, by the way, working well, getting ready to come back, going to come back on that Louisiana Derby card. It looks like tentatively, but now it might be Secret or Oath might be more likely. I'll tell you this. I wouldn't mind having 71 on either one of those horses with what we see.
If I asked you if you asked me who would you want to win the Derby, Secret Oath would probably be my pick right now. I think that would be the most fun. And I honestly think that she has a legit shot if she ends up in the Arkansas Derby. Ethel Road really screwed us over. I mean, that's my takeaway from Saturday is the coach's other horse screwed us over. I guess you could say Newgrange did too, because if Newgrange just dominates that field, then no one else kind of continues on. But yeah, I would love to see Secret Oath go to the Arkansas Derby. And I think she would be a legit contender in the Kentucky Derby if we got to see her go that far.
Yeah, she's running pretty fast numbers already, and we haven't seen her really get out of second gear, I don't believe. And I'm with you. I would love to see it. I think if she continues to run this well, at some point, somewhere, like Vinny said yesterday, maybe they take a swing at the Preakness if she wins the Kentucky Oaks, something like that.
The problem is it's the Derby. Like, the Preakness is going to be a tougher field than the Derby if you get the best Baffert or the best 2 Bafferts in there, plus a bunch of new shooters that are coming in from the other places. And then you go to a 1.5 miles in the Belmont. I mean, do we really want to try the Belmont? Is that where we're going to try Secret Oath? And so it doesn't make a ton of sense there. And then it's like, okay, are we going to try the Travers? Like, at what point do we try the boys? Because I feel like the Derby is it's the best chance I think you have in a major classic distance race against the 3-year-old boys this year. And B, it's like the most prestigious. So if we're not going to try now, when are we going to try? Like, I'm concerned that this is the chance and they are missing it because of the Arkansas Derby.
We'll see. We'll see. A lot to unfold. Have faith in the coach, Trish. Have faith in the coach, Samich. Come on now. All right. I got to get out of here. I got so much to do today.
What's his win percentage right now?
Have faith in the coach, Samich.
just wondering.
Listen, we're done. I'm going to mute you now. All right. We're going to leave. We're going to get out of here. I was pointing the door. I got to lock that door. I'm in here all day. It's going to be all day horses for me all day. So we got to get out of here. We got a lot of shit going on all week. We got shows. You guys got show like every day. Blinkers off. We'll have tons of videos up on the YouTube site as well. So stay tuned to Racing Dudes. We'll be here for you, and we'll see you guys all week with shows.
Parks.